Florida, and it's like everyone's still going crazy.
Yeah, they're going out, but
whereas like the rest of the world
it's just fucking
sitting home.
Yeah.
And now California's like kind of opening back up a little bit. In New York, it's like I don't really know what to think of the whole thing, but I mean, I love Florida, so we're pretty lucky, especially with our industries. Like a lot of DJs are like trying to make it on Twitch now, which is like people are getting creative. When you think a company's going to go out of business, instead of like buying it because you think it's going to go up, you short it and it's going to go the other way. So there's a bunch of people shorting these stocks, like big institutions, and say the stock starts to go up, you're losing money if you're shorting it. So
and what's shorting it mean?
So basically it's like instead of say I was going to say Amazon, I think it's going to grow, right?
Yeah.
So I buy the stock at 3,000. And if it goes up, I'm making money. Now, you could bet the opposite way and be like, Amazon's going to go out of business. I think they're going to do shitty. And you could short it and for it to go down. But the bad thing about shorting it is you're up, like, you could get your whole entire account knocked out because you could go to $1 million. Like, the share price could go to $1 million. When I buy a stock, the worst that's going to happen is it's going to go out of business and I'm going to lose all my money. Whereas, like, if it goes up and you're shorting it, your entire account could get wiped. When I first started, I was like, and when I was like younger, I'd be like, where could I put money that I would make money? Like, how much money do I need to like make money each month and not have to work? Like almost like retirement and just get paid like dividends essentially. So I was like young as hell and I'm like typing it in, and then the savings accounts are like $0.01. So I'm like, you need like $1 billion. So then I got into like I wanted to do like rental properties when I was younger, but it's almost like a job. Like I know people that have done it, and it's like buying like something goes wrong. AC money.
Well, you got to hire a manager then.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to want to deal with it all the time.
So I got into like the dividend stuff, and I was like been doing it since like 2013, and it's like I feel like stocks have gotten like more popular recently. It's like been the cool thing.
Crazy popular.
So now, because I always used to post about it back in the day, and I never used to like, everyone used to be like, whatever. And I do the boring stuff. Like I'm buying like AT&T because it has a yield a long time ago. And like a lot of the stuff that I try to buy is like undervalued dividend stuff. So like, for an example, I didn't buy this, but back in the day when BP had their oil spill, nothing really fundamentally changed from their business. People were just boycotting BP because of the ocean thing, right?
Yeah.
So you would almost be like go in there and buy it, like buy shares of BP because in a month everyone kind of forgot about it and they're like, let's go fill our gas tanks.
Yeah, right.
I'll have like all these people now hit me up like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I'm like, I'll tell you what I do, but if you were to give me your money, like I'll lose my money and be like, whatever. If I lost your money, I'd feel like shit. Like my emotions
you kind of got to live with that, yeah.
My emotions would get too involved with it, and I would be like, I wouldn't be able to make the same decision I would for myself or someone else.
That tells me you're just not a greedy fuck.
Yeah, and and I'll have like people say, "Oh, what do you think I should buy?" I'm like, "Well, I bought Bristol Myers last week. Take a look at it," and they'll be like, "Why?" A lot of people are just buying stuff now because it's like they see their buddy buy it, and they're like, "All right," and people feel comfortable like. If us four all have the same stock, it feels good and it feels safe because it's like it's a group, you know. It's like everyone's like, hell yeah, we all have the same shit, like whatever. Whereas like the person that's probably gonna make the most money is like the guy on the other side of the boat. I started DJing my senior year, but the first clubs that I was doing was a Thursday night, and I used to have to go to high school on Friday, so I was like doing this Thursday night. And when you first start DJing, like you're an opener and then you're a closer. You get the shittiest hours, you know. You're like.
What were your hours?
So like,
how old? What were you in 11th grade?
I was in 12th grade, so I still had school Friday.
So what, 17, 18?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't even old enough to get in the club, and I would start, and I was like, I would do from like 10 to 11 the shitty part, and then like 2 to 3 the closing part. So I had to be there the whole night, and then I would go to school Friday, and my teachers would be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? You're only 17 years old, and you're going to clubs." Like, they were almost like saying like, "What the fuck? Like, you're going down a really bad path." And I was just like, "Oh, I'm making money." Like, I was getting.
Yeah. So let me sit in class and you can teach me about something I'm never going to use in my entire life.
Yeah. So I was like, I started then.
I did real great.
And then I started DJing with like at like Passions at the Hard Rock, and I was only like 19, 20 years old. So sometimes like these guys, like the bouncers wouldn't know me, And I would go there, and they'd be like, "You're not even old enough to get in here." And I'm just like, "Eh, whatever." But I was DJing, so they were like, "Go for it."
Fuck it.
And then I was like.